Some headbanging music, Ben.
Yay.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ales and Tales podcast. We've got a whole lot of crazy going on right off the bat. I'm still wiping tears out of my eyes from reading autocorrect failures. We got Ben having either a seizure or he's headbanging. Jim McCarthy is over there having major gastrointestinal issues.
I am?
No, you're burping like crazy.
I don't know who that was.
Oh, okay. But better the burps than alternative.
Yeah.
And then Carly's calmly sitting here watching the three guys going, what is wrong with these idiots?
Why am I here?
Why am I hanging out with them?
That's right. It's all for the beer.
Yeah.
So, we are going to bring you another review of a beer today to see if it's something you might like, because we test for the good beers and we suffer through the bad ones so you don't have to. Oh, it's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. Today is a beer that's very readily findable. I would say it's pretty much everywhere. It was probably the first craft beer I think I ever had. Because they were out when I really wasn't even a beer fan, and I was like, oh, let's try something different. I think it was mainly because I like the logo. Rogue Dead Guy Ale.
It's very metal.
Rogue Brewery.
Yeah.
So it used to be in a bottle, now it's in a can. But yeah, I don't know. The logo got me just, and I said, no, let's check it out, and it was good. And again, it's funny because I had it, I liked it, and then I didn't have it, and I have not had Rogue Dead Guy Ale in probably 15 years.
Wow.
So
I've definitely had it before that, but it's been a number of years. I tried it a couple of years ago. I know I've had it when I went to Zanies. We got the drink minimum, and they used to have it on there, and they got rid of it.
I haven't been to Zanies in a while.
Yeah.
We need to have some of their, like when the comics come and do like a 3 or 4 day stint, if we're recording, we need to invite them on.
that'd be a good idea. I went and saw a guy not long ago, and he's funny as could be, and I can't think of his name right now. It's just a month or two ago. It's really good.
Hey,
that means nothing because I can't tell you who. Yeah,
Great story.
I was going to say we really want to hear what you're saying. So
I like building suspense.
Yeah.
There's a great comedian. You ought to check him out. Who is it? I don't know.
He'll tell us in 30 minutes.
I'm not telling you.
It'll come to me.
You'll have to stay for the end of this. You got to do it like the nightly news. I heard a great comedian. He could really make you laugh. Find out who it is at the end of the show.
Nightly news. Tom Brokaw.
So let's do a beer quote.
Ben?
I got a good one. I don't know who Thomas Blackburn is, but he once said, a psychologist once said that we know little about the consciousness except that it is soluble in alcohol.
It is what in alcohol?
Soluble.
I don't think you said that the first time around.
Soluble, yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's how you're soluble.
There's soluble in alcohol.
This is only the second episode, pal.
There's soluble in alcohol. You don't drink a little 6-pack, man. Truck, man.
You don't know who Thomas Blackburn is?
Wow.
Not off the top of my head, no.
You calling him out?
I'll tell you at 11.
You're going to say something on your stove may kill you and your entire family. Find out what that is tonight at 11.
Oh, dude, did I ever tell you that joke about gaslighting?
No,
Pretty sure I did. I think I did.
Good try. Okay, so
you forget a lot. Just saying.
About what?
Nothing.
You can find us, by the way, on the alesandtalespodcast.com.
Facebook.
And some other places I forgot about.
Instagram. Spotify.
It's only the second episode,
iTunes.
folks.
Patreon. We could use some Patreon help. May pay for our mental rehabilitation.
This is what happens when we record in the afternoon.
Yeah, I am sluggish. So I'm still a little jet lagged. And then
Why are you jet lagged? Where'd you go?
Scotland.
I
went to Scotland.
Not Ireland.
No. Totally
Kentucky's not that far away, buddy.
Scotland, Ireland. Yeah. Scotland, Kentucky.
Yeah.
What? There's too many words. What?
Dublin, Virginia.
There is a Dublin, Virginia.
There is?
I
was making that up.
I'm sure there is.
You had a good time?
I had a great time.
Yeah.
It was good.
Did you drink any beer?
I did. Bellhaven's Best, which is the same beer that I found last time I was in Scotland. It was very, very good.
You can get it down at the pub in the Gulch.
Bellhaven's Best?
Mm-hmm, pretty sure.
Sweet.
I think they had one that had like a little milk thistle picture on it that I remember that I really liked.
Okay. Well, that's the thistle is like the Scottish logo. Yeah. All right.
What was the best scotch you tried?
Oh, that's impossible.
The first one you can think of.
Castle Seamus. So there's a bunch of scotch that you cannot find here in the U.S. There's just it just doesn't make it out because a lot of the blending companies like Dewar's, which is a blended whiskey,
Words.
Johnny Walker words.
Oh my
Johnny
gosh.
Walker is a
I was
blending.
going to help you, and I was like,
So they
no,
buy a lot of the
struggle.
bottles and it never gets out of there. So I was able to pick up a number. Oh, I was going to tell you guys about that. It was pretty funny. So apparently I had read that you can bring back up to like 5 full-size bottles, liter, I guess that's a liter, of alcohol. And I was like, oh, I don't need that much. But I picked up 4 different bottles of scotch that you cannot get here and that were really good. I got a chance to try. Great distillery, Toraveg, which has only been around for like a couple of years. That was really cool. And Glen, I can't think of it now. Anyway, Glen,
Levitt.
no, I did that last
Maranghi.
time. Glen Fiddick was great.
Glenfiddich.
Glenn Levitt was great. Glen Fiddick, they were kind of dicks. Anyway, Macallan was the best. Regardless, yeah. So I ended up packing these bottles of scotch. Got to Nashville, got off the plane, got into the customs line, and wheeled up. Put my bag up there, and the lady goes, "So, do you have anything that you want to declare? Any alcohol that you're bringing back or anything?" I said, "Yeah, I've got a few bottles of scotch." And she goes, "Well, how many is a few?" And I said, "It's 4." She goes, "You're only allowed like 1 per person." And I went, "Tell me where I need to sit so I can drink all of this because it ain't going anywhere until I go."
Right?
She
Show
laughed.
me where it says
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, everything I read online was that you could bring up to 5 bottles, which is roughly equivalent of a gallon.
Yeah.
I read it in
I
multiple
know people that
places.
go and bring back more wine than that.
Yeah.
With the last, when I went to Italy, I brought back more than that and had no issue. But this young lady apparently said no 1 bottle, and I was like, well, that's not going to happen. I just said, well, tell me where I need to sit and drink it because I'm not
That's
leaving
when I
without it.
turn around and go,
You may have to.
I've got $10 for 3 people each who don't have a bottle of liquor in their bag.
You may have to wheel me out of here on a gurney, but damn it, it's going with me. And she started laughing and she goes, "It's more trouble to do the paperwork. Go on." I went, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why you just don't declare things.
Well, the internet says, did you go that direction?
No, it wasn't worth it.
The internet says, I can't believe this woman here told me I couldn't bring my whiskey in.
You're on TikTok Live.
Start filming her.
Defend yourself.
Yeah. So anyway,
You're
so I
making me feel uncomfortable.
I need an adult.
I need an adult. So yeah, I got 4 bottles of whiskey that I brought back, 4 bottles of scotch. Teaveg. I told you guys a long time ago about Poitdubh.
Where are they?
I didn't bring them with me. I haven't even opened them yet. I'm waiting. Those are special.
Poitdubh?
Those are special occasion ones. What'd you say?
Poitdubh?
Okay. How would you pronounce it?
How do you spell it again?
Poitdubh.
D-U-B-H. I thought it was D-U-I-H.
Poitdubh.
Okay.
Okay,
That's,
no,
that's very French of
Yeah. I
you.
don't know.
This is Scottish though, right? So spell it for me one more time.
It's Gaelic. That's the
Gaelic.
problem.
Okay, so spell it one more time.
Poit.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess the P sounds like a T, the I sounds like a Z.
That's pretty much it. Dude,
where
Gaelic.
Craig,
Gaelic
Craig,
is
Craig
so,
that. Craig that.
Craig. That's probably the close. It's Potchgoo.
Potchgoo.
Oh.
How do you get goo out of D-U-B-H?
D-U.
Gaelic
To-
is.
to us, it would
it's
be-
like
it'd be-
it's like Russian. It's like
be
no
like-
letter
Well, it's
stands
'cause
for the
it's
sound
like-
is going to
Well,
make.
like
yeah,
it would
'cause
be
the letter doesn't have the same
Pot-W.
sound. It's the same symbol, different
Yeah.
sound, man.
Poitdubh.
Well, what was funny is the first time I ordered it when I was there last time. I went to Scotland 3 years ago, and I was at this little bed and breakfast, and they had a bar, and I went into the bar. Couldn't eat all the pretzels, man.
Yeah, save
No.
some for us.
Carly, go
You
get
left
them.
him with me.
Or at least shorten the rusting. I thought you were just doing it just to mess with him as he talked.
No,
You should've-
no.
We need to open this beer.
I know, for
Finish
real.
telling your story.
So I was like, I'm bound and determined to try
I'm
some
going
different
rogue.
scotches.
Yeah.
I'm going rogue. All right, so I ordered. I said, yeah, I'd like to try some of the Poitdubh 12-year, and he goes, the what? I went, that one. He goes, oh, the Potchgoo. was like, how? What? No, it makes no sense. He's like, yeah, Gaelic will mess with you, man. So yeah, it does.
They love it when you're in their country and you tell them that their language and spelling doesn't make any sense. They welcome tourists all around.
They understand, which is why the majority of the time they're speaking in English. But no, it was a great time. A lot of hiking. I learned something very interesting, which is in certain areas where there are no trees, which is a lot of Scotland.
Yeah.
When it rains, instant waterfalls, and when it stops, they dry up almost immediately because these giant cliffs, there's no trees and there's no roots. It's just moss, and the moss is always wet. So as soon as it starts misting on you, it has nowhere to go because the moss is like this. It's like 1.5 feet thick.
It's like lichen
on top of rocks, and that's it. So all the water just goes right down. So it started raining, waterfalls everywhere. We were like, wow, this is
amazing.
Awesome. It was really cool. There's my Scotland story. You said you wanted a story.
I like the story.
That was a good story.
That's a good tale.
That smells
Now it's time for the ale.
Ooh.
That smells
Sweet and malty.
buttery.
Oh, yes.
Strong notes of honey off this one. Like
We're getting out of order. Go ahead, Carly.
Alrighty, buckle in. We've got the can art for Rogue Dead Guy Ale. Gratefully dedicated to the rogue in each of us. Dead Guy Ale is a My Box style ale with a robust malt profile and a sweetness that is balanced by the liberal use of bittering hops.
Liberal.
There's a little star on here,
I'm out.
and it's this half the star is filled with the words toffee, malt, and bitter. Not so much nutty and roast. The can, so it's black, just straight black. And then there's this really cool drawing of a skeleton that's in the fetal position, I guess, with a beer and a nice hat.
Sounds like a papal hat.
He's just sitting. Yeah, he's sitting chilling.
Yeah, he's sitting
cool hat.
chilling, not in a bad
Looks like
way.
human jerky.
Does he look like the new pope?
Yeah.
It's kind of a Pope hat, isn't it?
this is American.
It's called being topical.
So I learned something new as we were looking at this can on the side. It talks about being 6.8% by volume, 40 IBUs. Y'all know how I feel about that bullshit. And 16 SRM. What is 16
SRMs.
SRM?
It means it's a Smyrna Ready mix.
Smyrna Ready mix. That's right.
Standard reduction module.
Standard reference method, and it's what brewers use to describe the color. I never knew that existed.
So with going over the BTUs,
IBUs.
IBUs.
Yeah.
So the higher the number, the more bitter.
Yes.
Theoretically, yes.
And what's the scale typically?
The human taste buds go up to about 100 IBUs, but like you get Dogfish Head 120, and apparently it's 120 IBUs, but apparently can't taste it at that point. It's
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole like color scale
Oh, sure
apparently
there is.
from
Oh, that's
0
cool.
to 40 plus to black. That got to save that and start using it. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty slick. So this
So
one,
this is a 16, which is pretty dead on with what we see.
all right. So the head went away very quickly. It is a orangey. That's a pretty orange beer.
I get like orange blossom
Semi-
honey off the nose.
Mhm.
Semi opaque.
Yeah, definitely.
I get caramel,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
butter, and caramel.
Butter.
That smells good.
like butter.
Yeah, like brown butter almost.
Mm. That's a good nose. I like that. I could have that as like a candle or a Glade plug-in. Give me a Glade plug-in of Rogue Dead Guy Ale, and I'm in, man.
Yeah,
That takes
yeah.
me back.
I see that.
Haven't
Smells
had that
good.
in a long time.
All right, let's get
You get that sweetness, sweet malty right off the front, and then it dries really quickly like an IPA on the back end.
Mhm.
That kind of malty backbone. The dry malty comes through at the back.
That's weird. The first thing I got was like guava and grapefruit without any of the twang.
Wow. Okay.
Like if you only get the sweetness out of those two fruits and stuck it there, I was like, I got that
You mean the
immediately.
tang or the twang?
The tang, that
Those
little
are not grapefruit. The twang.
not ripe fruit.
Ripe fruit.
Ripe fruit.
You're just
No,
getting grapefruit tang.
tang.
Yeah. No tang.
It's got a little bit of fruitiness at first, and then it goes straight into again like
You feel the bitterness.
burnt caramel, not unpleasant burnt caramel, but like toasted caramel, toasted nuts, nuttiness, butteriness. I like that. That's good.
It's good.
It does not linger.
It finishes very crisp. Very quick.
So this is somewhat malty.
Yeah.
Not a fan?
No, I don't mind it.
Okay.
It's actually good.
I know that you and malt don't always...
This is the first craft beer you had, you said?
Mm-hmm.
It,
Yeah, I think before this, it was pretty much like
Miller Lite. And
this and Sammy Smith.
Miller
High
Genuine
Life,
Draft
Yeah.
and
OE.
Ice House.
private
Ooh,
stock.
And,
Nice. 8% Ice House. man.
Yeah, that was college stuff.
Gets you drunk.
Original Glory.
No.
Did y'all have Southpaw? I know I'm sure you did. You spent some time up in Boone, North Carolina. We had that was like the college, like when PBR was too expensive. You got the Southpaw. Like a keg of Southpaw was like $65.
My father-in-law, this time last year for Cammie's graduation party.
Brought her some Southpaw?
No, he bought a case of PBR.
I got to say, so went up to Boone, which I hadn't been in 15 years, and was up there recently and go to Boone Saloon, and a random night, and band just happened to be playing. All the college kids were out there, and everybody's drinking PBR. Going, why is everyone drinking PBR? I'm like, well, it's college. It's probably, and I asked, it's got $1.50 a can or a bottle, and everyone's drinking it with a lime, and I've never seen PBR.
Oh.
No, that's new.
And honestly, because I've never been a big fan of PBR, not the great. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great. Yeah, I've got to pour it in a glass. It's got so much air in it that it just makes me feel bloated. But like with the lime, it just kind of tastes like a cerveza.
Oh.
It's approachable. It's doable. I think they were number 5 in the country for amounts of PBR sold, Boone Saloon, which, you know, Nashville's Robert's Western World took over number 1
Yes, I heard
this past year. They're the number 1 retailer of PBR in the country. What's downtown Nashville? It's still it's $2.50. You can get a beer for $2.50 downtown.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
Really?
PBR's.
So you're going to a concert tonight, right?
No.
There you go. We know what
No,
Carly's
I'm going
drinking.
to bed at 11 o'clock once the concert ends. I'm done.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
What concert are you going to see?
It's Griffin at the Pinnacle.
Okay.
Have you guys been to the Pinnacle?
Yeah.
Yet? It's a great venue.
So we were right up there, right up close for Jack White.
Oh, cool.
We were not far from the stage. I mean, it's, here to the front door pretty much is where I was.
The sound quality is
It
phenomenal.
was great. I was amazed. Like, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be because it's slightly larger capacity than the Ryman. Not by much. It's only like 2,800 people or something like that.
It's about the same as Brooklyn Bowl, isn't it?
Pretty much. Like, it's not much bigger than Brooklyn Bowl. And I mean, you sit up at the top, and so the top, instead of having the GA up top, was like the big concrete stadium seats.
Yeah.
So they're like 3 feet wide, and so you have all the dancing room you want. You're good there. There was actually AC up top, so it was nice and cool if you got too hot down below.
There's tons of bathrooms. The security is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's clean.
Enough bars that they were always empty.
Yeah, exactly. There's never a line.
I've not been there yet.
It was, it's nice. I've got, they've got a 2-for-1 sale going on right now. I know this probably won't get out in time for people to know that, but for your pleasure, of course, Alice in Chains was canceled. I was going to get 2-for-1 Alice in Chains tickets, and it's canceled for some reason.
Oh.
So I want to settle for just
Overrated.
Primus.
Yeah.
I hear they suck.
With the new drummer.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more Tim Herb Alexander.
Primus sucks.
But did you guys hear about May 28th at
Tim
the
Alexander.
City Winery?
No?
Oh my gosh, really?
Wait, is that your show?
Mm-hmm.
That's my show, yes.
Oh.
With Huey Lewis and the News tribute band that I'm going to be playing with.
All right. So you can put me on the guest list then, right?
Sure.
That's Wednesday?
That's going to be Wednesday the 28th.
I would hate to spend money and support my friends.
That's right. Always ask for a discount.
Yeah.
Yay, small business.
Oh, I didn't. You said free ticket. That's
Yeah.
discounts for
Look,
chumps.
you could spend $125 a head. Come on.
Surely it's not that much.
No.
Okay. I mean, by the time you're done with supper and wine, yeah,
I've never been there.
it's a interesting venue. I don't know how I feel about it. I've been to a show or two there. It was all right, and a show or two there was like, this is just awkward. Went to go see comedian Craig Ferguson there, and he was just like, "What is this place?" Speaking of Scottish, he's Scottish, right?
Craig Ferguson is
Yeah,
Scottish. yes.
yeah.
He's funny.
And so it's like, is this like, it's like a restaurant. It's like he was performing in a restaurant. It's kind of weird. I've been there for shows, and there's times where there's kind of dance floor, and there's times where there's not, I think. So it's kind of weird. I'm always, you go to a show, I want to stand up, I want to have fun. I don't want to sit down. So you get stuck at the shows where you're just in your seat looking at the stage, like, this is awkward.
I was just watching the Bob Dylan movie, and he was performing at some different venues, and everyone's just sitting down at tiny little tables, smoking cigarettes, and just like staring at him and not like dancing or enjoying. Yeah, it's
It's
very
because
like,
it was very
beatnik
Soho.
movement. It was the beatnik
but
movement.
like
Yeah, the
baby.
no
beatnik
one's
movement.
like dancing. Like,
No,
it's just
it
so
was
weird.
it was all
Oh,
poetry,
no.
beat
No,
poets.
No,
back
you get
then.
this. You get a little rock show now. I went to Jack White. I look over the crowd. I don't see a single head bobbing. I see this.
Yeah, no,
It's
a sea
ridiculous.
of phones.
It's so
There's
stupid.
concerts now, like festivals where it's no phones allowed. You have to
Oh,
lock your phone away
that was
before
the-
you go in.
That was the first Jack White show I've been to in years where he didn't lock up the phones. Because I mean, we went to
Oh.
Bridgestone. He locked up all the phones.
Wait, really?
Oh, it was
They can do that at
amazing.
Bridgestone?
It was amazing to be at Bridgestone and not see a single flashlight.
Mm.
You're right. And that, I wouldn't have nearly as a problem with them if people knew how to leave the flashlight off. Like you don't, it's not adding anything to your video. And that's and like this, a big show like that, there's already thousands of people taking video. I don't need it on my phone taking up space. I can go to YouTube and find it at a moment's
Exactly.
notice.
And it's higher quality too, probably better sound. Like
I'm guilty. Depending on the show that I'm watching, I watched Sammy Hagar last summer, and I'm guilty of taking some video.
Look, I get catching the memory. I have no problem with catching the memory. It's when you're there the whole
Yes.
show, your
Yeah.
phone up, or every other
That's
song.
like old school bootlegging back in the day.
Psychologically speaking, if you rely on something else to capture the memory, you're
Oh, yeah.
less likely to catch the memory. There is
Right.
no memory.
exactly. Yeah, live in the moment.
All my videos
Mm-hmm.
are bags. I'll just kind of like, I actually talked to somebody who said you just put it in their pocket. I'm like, it's amazing. Because I'll generally
I
just
got-
take the phone, like get where I think I can see it, and I'll just put it up against my chest. So it's not like somebody's having to watch my phone. And I mean, you get the video and it's all like you're on a cruise ship. It's all rocking around. And I'm
Because
sitting,
Ben's over there doing a hippie dance
Yeah.
the whole time,
jamming out.
Are
And,
you doing the whole pretend there's a ball between your arms and doing this kind of stuff?
like that shit now?
What?
It's a thing, Carly. Believe me.
Yeah.
Like
That's,
old-
the, that's
old-
the old school rave
Old like
liquid
90,
dance.
old 90s
Yeah.
Ray, get the glow sticks in your
Uh-huh.
fingers.
Well, no, there's gloving. Have you seen that before?
Oh yeah, do the finger dancing? Finger
Yeah,
dancing.
the gloves and like every finger's a different color, and they like do like different like spirals, and
No,
like
but these
it
people have like
mesmerizes
these people have like dexterity and
You
can,
know
like,
exactly
for
which
those
ones are on
people-
drugs
Yes.
because they're the ones going,
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
like
Oh no, you
And for
need
those
that-
people,
no.
it's called clubbing. Where you take a hammer and just smash their hands.
No, if you've never watched it, like you don't need drugs to be fascinated by it. It
Yeah.
is incredible.
we'll watch it after.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like
Well, if you watch any,
the
any
finger,
of the
finger dancing, yeah.
if you watch any of the Doctor Strange movies, all the movements he does in those movies are from a guy who does like the hand dancing.
Really,
Yeah.
I believe it.
is this the same? These are the same people that also do the finger skateboarding or something? What is it, the finger
Maybe
dancing?
I
And
don't know.
Finger skateboarding. I have no hope for this generation.
I know.
Oh,
There
oh
you
no,
go.
Hey.
hobby.
Dude.
Do you finger
skateboarding-
skateboard?
No.
No,
Okay.
Jim,
Gen
finger
X
skateboarding
is
from our
Gen
generation.
Xers. You're not a Gen Xer, pal. Are you a Gen Xer? It's a mindset, really.
I'm like Zennial. Like I'm right on that line. I'm on the like 2 or 3 year cusp that was like right in between millennial and Gen X.
Yeah. There was like even us Gen Xers who think of ourselves as so tough and growing up drinking out of the water hose and all this other stuff. Again, going back to the Hoover Dam generation, 4 years to build the damn Hoover Dam, the damn dam. We are freaking soft as a generation.
Tell me Jim's old without telling me Jim's old.
You could do it, tell me whatever you want. You show up and freaking sweat your balls off and, tempt death hanging off the side of a canyon wall.
you all about the Hoover Dam. Back in my day.
Back in my day, we sat there and looked at the Hoover Dam from afar.
wore an onion on my belt as that was the fashion at the time. And
We wore a lot of dungarees.
I realize we've been drinking away, and I have not mentioned anything about Rogue. Let me do that real
let's
quick.
get into it.
Yes.
They're an OG brewery. I mean, it's one of the classical craft beers in the scene. I mean, you were saying it was one of the first craft beers you've ever had. They're right up there with one of the first I ever had with Sammy Smith. I mean, they go back. They go hard.
So for over 30 years, Rogue has been at the forefront of Oregon's booming beer industry by offering an ever-changing product lineup. I don't know of a single other beer that they make other than Dead Guy Ale. Rogue has developed a fan base that never knows what to expect other than the unexpected. At Rogue, we believe in getting our hands dirty and doing the job ourselves. We're continuously experimenting and innovating to craft world-class ales, lagers, spirits, canned cocktails, and more for Rogues everywhere. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Our mantra, dare, risk, dream. Dare more than others think is wise. Risk more than others think is safe. Dream more than others think is practical. Says Jack Joyce, Rogue's founder, was driving through Oregon looking for a location for a second brew pub when he found himself stuck in Newport, Oregon, in an unusual snowstorm. There, he met Mohava Niemi, a.k.a. Mo, founder of Mo's Restaurants, who extend...
The taco shop?
Probably not.
Moe's Southwest Grill?
I'm guessing no.
No, once you see the picture, it is definitely
not.
Southwest Grill.
Yeah. Who extended her signature hospitality over a bowl of her famous clam chowder. Mo told Jack she'd always dreamed of living above a bar and offered to rent Jack the vacant storefront and her garage under 2 conditions. That's an interesting dream, by the way, I want to live.
That sounds like a great retirement
It
plan.
could be kind of cool. So Rogue promises to feed the fishermen. This was Mo's way of saying give back to the community because the vast majority of Newport's residents are fishermen. Rogue committed to feeding the fishermen. This is totally different than feeding the fish. 3 decades ago and still gives back today through donations, cause beers, and partnerships such as the one with Dreamland Skate Parks. A photo of Mo in a bathtub forever must hang over the bar, and to this day, the photo of Mo hangs in every Rogue pub.
That's a photo right there.
That's a weird photo.
That's a photo.
Yeah. Jack agreed to these terms, and the Rogue Bayfront Public House soon opened.
That's like a horror movie, like murder photo.
So the photo is
Like those
Rogue.
old school photos that change into creatures.
Well, this is Mo at a fresh 85 years old, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
In a bathtub.
In a bathtub.
Naked. Yep.
Hugging her knees.
The 2 conditions, feed the fishermen, put this picture of me over the bar, and it must always be there.
Now you got to describe the picture.
I don't know. That kind of seems like a woman I'd love to have a beer with.
She probably was pretty
Right.
cool. I would agree. Is that to sober everybody up, or is that to
remind you what
I'm
happens
starting to
if you
feel
drink
pretty
too
good.
much?
Oh my gosh! Give me another one.
Hey, Bob, how many have you had? 7.
I like
look
this.
at that. Look at that, Bob. How do you feel now? Much better, thank
Give me
you.
3 more.
This is what we need on every beer website. They have a Rogue Fast Facts. Found in 88 by Jack Joyce.
Is that
Bob
by,
Worrell,
you
Rob-
have to fast and only drink Rogue?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like Lent, you know, the monks for Lent that created the heavy beer and only drink beer for 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
Right? First outpost was in Ashland, Oregon in 2003. Rogue began distilling as one of America's first independent craft distilleries. In 2007, Rogue moved to the distillery from Portland to its now location. To its now location in Newport. Weird way of saying it. Okay. 14, Rogue opened the Rolling Thunder Barrel Works and began coopering. There we go. Their own barrels. Rogue has only 2 brewmasters.
they have
John
whiskey?
Mayer and Joel Shields. I mean, it says in 2003 they became one of America's first independent craft distilleries. Rogue's canning line runs 13,800 cans an hour, the equivalent of 2,500 6-packs. Rogue has won more than 2,000 awards for taste, quality, and packaging. There's awards for packaging. Interesting.
Not a very exciting award. Holy shit. They do.
And now for the most durable corrugated cardboard.
I did not know, as a whiskey fan, that they have an American single malt whiskey.
Dead Guy Whiskey.
They have a Cabernet wine cask finished, which I've not.
They
been a fan of.
ocean age it too.
Stout cask finished. That could be interesting.
Ooh, oyster stout.
They have absinthe. Everybody has gin. Who cares?
Buddy, I went to a show with the other night, just brewed some absinthe the other day down at Corsair.
Morimoto gin. Or I'm sorry, Morimoto whiskey. All right. Okay, Rogue has really decided to just go all into all kinds of stuff.
They went rogue.
Ah.
Wow.
Way to steal my joke.
Wow.
Why? In the words of Flavor Flav, wow.
Smoked with cherry and alderwood. Huh. All right. I gotta try that. Cool. Is there more? There is
You have
more.
to isolate that sound for me after the show.
More?
I'm good.
I would like some more. Is there any more?
I'd like some more.
Stop. You got
Some
your
more.
Yeah, here you go.
No, I do what's
Whoever
proper, and
gets
I
there
split, I
faster.
split the can between me and Jim.
She
Jim
was
and I.
she was keeping it cold in the aluminum vessel. So
Oh, I just came up with a horrible joke. but it's not quite formulated.
Was
Is
that the
it- is
gaslighting
it
thing or something? Was it-
PG-13?
No, I mean, it's not quite. I realized I
You
came up
know
with the
by
joke,
now.
and as soon as I said it, I had the formulation of a joke, not the joke itself. Kind of like Mike's story earlier.
So you gotta work
So
on it.
you'll
Yeah.
hear the joke
Knock,
at 11.
knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
He's heard that one before. I've told it to him.
I got one for you. This is a good one for the kids.
I've used that, by the way. I've used that numerous times whenever I have people that I talk to that start interrupting me randomly.
Mhm.
Like they just, talk over you. I'm like, that reminds me of a funny joke. And I'll tell them that joke.
I'm going to tell Jim that joke every episode. Hey, Jim.
Are you saying that he talks over you?
Knock, knock.
Because he does do that to me.
What?
Knock, knock.
Come in.
Dick.
What do you want in your mouth? Sorry.
Hey, this isn't good. He's got editing powers. He can flip that.
Yeah, right? He has the
keep
powers
talking,
of all the
pal.
buttons and the editing. That's pretty funny.
No one's going to let me finish my joke? All right.
Go ahead.
Knock, knock.
Because
Come in.
I quit.
the funny thing is I'm not going to be able to edit him saying, what do you want in your mouth, dick?
Okay, who's there?
I eat mop.
I ate mop.
I eat mop.
I eat mop.
You eat
poo.
more poo.
Ah,
I
that's
eat
gross.
mop. I eat my
More,
poo.
I'm a poo. You eat your poo.
Wow.
Dick. He does eat dick. All right. I eat mop. Poo. Jeez. That is straight third grade, man. Oh my God.
I said it was one for the kids, did I not?
Wow.
Y'all bring up knock knock jokes. I finish it and y'all can't handle it.
Wait, is this the sound from the, what's it called?
Not music.
Yes, there we go. Remember the first time
Why are
we
you
were,
encouraging
we
Carly?
were like, what was that sound? And then we watched the video
Yeah.
of the,
We're like,
what,
whoa.
what is it, interrogation or
No, it was
Intervention.
intervention? Thank you.
greatest
Similar.
cry ever.
What have you been drinking? Why are you
You're
so
taking
drinking?
off the drugs. I'm going to scare you straight.
That's the difference between an intervention can actually start with an interrogation. That works. What have you been drinking? All right. What have you been smoking? What have you
What's
been
the worst
smoking?
thing about prison? The Dementors. No Office fans here, really?
I don't remember that one.
Wow. When Prison Mike?
Oh,
Oh,
Prison Mike.
with the purple bandana.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Dementors. They're the worst things about prison. You mean the creatures from Harry Potter? Yeah.
So dumb.
It was such
So
a great
dumb.
show. Such a
So
great,
lost.
so iconic,
I
so much better than Friends and Seinfeld combined.
actually would agree with that.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the same catchy bass lines. All right. We
There's
are
more quotable quotes from that show than any other show.
again, I can never quote shows, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah.
Too bad it wasn't funny.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a
You're
little
not an Office
stitious.
I'm a little stish.
I'm not a Friends fan either.
I'm a little ishous.
A little stitious, not
Little stitious.
superstitious.
I hated it the first time around.
The Friends?
No, The Office.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah, it takes
First-
it's
I thought it was
you got to
awful.
warm up to it.
And then I went back and watched it years later and loved it.
Yes.
So, just like your allergies, your tastes, I guess, changed
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
like
Let's
visiting
get
old
back
friend.
on track, folks. We got a beer to review.
Track. What are we doing?
In pair.
Why are we here?
That's where we're going. I like it. So,
This is
It
pairs
this
with
is
pears?
interesting to food pair because this one's a little bit harder.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot going on.
the sweetness of it knocks out a lot of food categories for me because it's that malty bready sweetness.
yeah,
you
it
know?
needs something acidic. It needs marinara sauce, something that helps break
Oh.
up the sweetness.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd go there.
So, pasta, pizza, like a meatball sub,
Yes, I don't know. I don't
Chicken
know if I would
parm?
want with that.
chicken
Chicken
parm.
parm.
Man,
Maybe.
I have not had a good chicken parm in years.
Not have I.
God, there was a place years and years ago. It's not around anymore. That used to have the best chicken parm. Apparently, everybody else did not agree, which is why it's not around anymore.
Um,
But man, super crispy chicken, pounded flat. Oh, now I'm hungry. Damn it.
Did you have an Italian grandmother who cooked for you?
Yes. I looked forward to going and seeing her. We'd go up to Pittsburgh every year, and she would make lasagna, homemade pasta, everything. Just
There's a new movie on Netflix with Vince Vaughn called Nonnas, Nonnas.
yeah. I was thinking about watching it, except for one thing: Vince Vaughn.
It's a cute
I have
movie.
yet to find a single movie that he's like this major role.
Wedding
in that I
Crashers
like.
is fun.
Meh.
Are they built for leisure or are they built for speed?
I like that
Is
sound effect.
that the difference between speed, motorboating and yachting?
Right.
It was the discussed version of it.
The Amish husbands have to rowboat their wives.
Apparently, it's a true story about a guy who started a restaurant in Staten Island where only Italian grandmothers make the meals. So it gives them.
I've heard of that place. Actually.
Yeah,
It
it
sounds
gives
good.
them purpose, in their later years of their lives, and it serves the people who no longer can get those kinds of meals from the people who used to give them
Brilliant
to
idea.
them. It's a great idea.
I am
It's
all
com-
in on that.
we should go.
Yeah,
I am all in as
that's
well.
a road trip. That's road trip worthy just for that.
There was a place by my house that's since closed down. When they first opened up, it was like you're walking in like your Bosnian grandmother's kitchen.
Dude,
I mean, she had a couple microwaves. She had a couple of like ranges and ovens, and that was it. Like
I
she's
ate
back
there.
there by herself. The spinach pie was just so good.
yeah, that was very good.
Oh man,
I've had that.
everything there was fantastic. I mean, she had this really just simple cucumber salad, and somehow it was just amazing.
I went there for the stuffed cabbage.
Oh, the baklava, the everything was so good.
Pierogies you were talking about. My
Ooh,
grandma used to
yes.
make those and everything. Oh, dude. And she, oh, God.
What's the proper size for a
Was she
pierogi?
Italian?
Like
Like, are you like a
Was she
small pierogi, a big
100?
pierogi
small,
person?
small pierogi.
Small
So
pierogi.
from your mother's side,
Unless
you're not
making them.
FBI.
Yeah.
I'm not FBI, full-blooded
You're not-
Italian.
Yes.
I'm like 3/4.
Yeah.
So my dad, 100%. All that. There's 9. My grandma was one of like 9. They came over. God, what year was it? I don't remember what year. And all settled in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh.
Right.
My other side of the family is French, Dutch, and Italian. I think.
So
I think the
mostly
French and
Italian.
Dutch is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you can't tell, I'm like aerodynamic naturally.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't know why that was so funny to me, but it was.
Just
So
saying.
I'm going to say this one is. We already did pairings, right?
Well,
Relatively, or
somewhat.
kind of.
What do you think? Because you seemed like the marinara thing
know.
threw you off.
It did. Like at first, my brain was going really weird with like, flourless chocolate torte. So a dessert that's not super sweet.
almost. I'm almost saying like a salmon,
Ooh, yeah.
like with some lemon and rosemary on it, grilled,
I could see
and
that.
some rice.
Grilled anything would just about work with this.
Yeah.
Because the sweetness would be kind of broken up by any of the char grilling or something like that. I would say pork barbecue. This would go well with barbecue. Not a sweet barbecue sauce.
Tangy.
Yeah, like a vinegar barbecue sauce.
Or twangy.
Yeah.
Or
Twangy.
twangy.
Yeah.
Oh, I am getting hungry.
No, it is almost 3:00.
What did you say?
I agree with everything. I would say like grilled chicken salad, maybe.
Okay, yep. I can see that.
Like chicken salad with the mayo in it, or
No, like just
On lettuce,
chicken.
on
just
rabbit
lettuce,
Yes.
grilled chicken in a house salad.
I
Yes.
want. I
food.
want
The rabbit
this-
food kind, not
Not
the
the
mayo
good
kind.
Yeah.
I want this with the Cobb salad from what's the hot chicken place we used to get?
Eddie B's.
No,
Prince's?
no, the
Like
that,
crust.
the one's down in the Gulch, right near Frugal McDougal. They have the smoked
Oh,
eggs on their Cobb salad.
Party
Party foul.
Party
Yes.
foul.
I want this with the hot chicken Cobb salad from Party foul.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like the smoke from the eggs. You're talking about the barbecue. The smoke would go well with the sweetness.
Still not been able to figure out how to
The-
do those
the-
eggs.
The spicy hot chicken would go really well.
It almost like
I think something spicy.
I'll
with this
see
as well.
your
I want,
hot
like,
chicken and
Indian food, spicy Indian food with
That
that,
would work.
sweetness to cut through
and
it.
raise you like a smoked egg salad sandwich.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
Oh, egg salad.
You don't like egg salad?
Mm.
No, it just does not.
As long as it's
Called-
like smoky.
So I got to ask you, okay, so this is interesting. Do you like eggs?
Yes.
Do you like mayo?
Yes.
Okay. I get that. Do you like mustard?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
You like relish pickles?
Yeah, and I like hard-boiled eggs, but not like
Together.
mashed up with mayo on a toasted bread. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Oh, toasted.
She's almost angry about it.
I don't do
I
egg salad.
get
Doesn't
that.
go toasted. Just regular bread, just plain white bread.
I like tuna salad, but not egg salad.
I can understand.
Now we're getting weird.
Tuna
Yeah.
salad? Tuna
Well,
salad.
I like tuna salad. Don't get me wrong, but tuna salad over egg salad is kind of weird to me.
Like instead of?
No,
well,
he's
just like
saying
choosing it over egg
Oh.
salad. Like I don't like egg salad, but I do like tuna salad.
Okay,
So
tuna macaroni salad.
I don't know what that is.
This
Really?
is weird.
My,
That sounds like
that's
a
not weird.
1970s Midwestern thing.
my wife makes it, and it's unbelievable.
I'd probably eat it. I mean, yeah.
It's tuna fish with like the shelled macaroni, rosemary, a little bit, herbs and spices
All
and
right.
stuff like that, and a little bit of a mayonnaise type of mixture. And it is friggin' awesome. My son loves it. We all as a family.
Ever done it with salmon?
A great
Ooh,
summer meal.
that'd be good with trout. Smoked
Smoked
trout.
salmon. Mhm.
Smoked salmon a little trickier, but smoked trout I think would work.
Like, this is a seaside dock,
Yeah.
you're sitting on a bay, good kind of beer for seafood.
Yeah, seafood. Okay, I can see the seafood.
Yeah.
Seafood and spicy food.
Two things. One, this reminds me of that Taj beer at an Indian restaurant. You can normally get Taj Mahal beer, which is very similar in flavor to this. It's got kind of a sweetness to it. This works well with the curries and everything else. This would be very good with any of them. You're right. Because it's got that bitterness and tang.
You all right over there?
I'm fine.
You sure?
That was you.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the levels.
So I told you the joke about gaslighting earlier, right?
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
I
you
did.
did.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
pretty sure you
No,
did.
I didn't. I don't think I ever actually told a joke.
You
I
keep
never
on breathing into that mic.
I didn't.
A lot. You might want to stop that.
But so the multiple ingredient, I've struggled with carrot salad, which I think is the most disgusting thing on the planet.
I've never heard of that.
That's with raisins.
Freaking yes, shredded
Like
carrots,
shredded carrots.
raisins, and mayonnaise.
Wow,
It's not
I haven't
that
had that
bad.
since I was like 6.
Horrid. And I like all three of those things. I will eat a carrot. I'll eat a carrot like Bugs Bunny. Don't care. Love it. I don't mind raisins. They're good. Like mayo. Put them together and it's freaking horrid.
Bugs Bunny was a cartoon character
Yes,
from the 1930s and 40s.
I remember.
Just letting you know.
He's elder explaining.
That apparently, that apparently was so offensive that let's take it off. Have you seen some of the old episodes? Like
Oh, yeah.
I saw one that was disclaimer.
they were
like,
awesome.
We're going to
They
show
were.
it in its unedited form, not because we support the content, but
But
it's
to
just
show
to
you how
show
it
that it
was.
was there in the culture at the time.
So
And it's like,
stupid.
BS. I think it was great because people were actually
Dumb.
not a bunch of pansies.
Because they had bigger things to worry about, like, I don't know, World War II.
right?
What color their hair was.
And the friggin' the Great Depression and building the Hoover Dam.
My
So we have
wife's
not gotten away
favorite was
from the
the
complaining.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 3.5 little Indians. That
Yes,
was a
the
half
little-
breed.
Yeah. What about the
Like, wow.
celebrate our differences? Boogle, boogle, boogle. You ever see that one?
Oh, yeah.
What?
That used
That
to run
wasn't
during the
Looney-
90s.
That wasn't Looney Tunes, but
That was like that
it
was they were
celebrated-
trying to like bring us all together to celebrate diversity, and they did it in
most
the most
stereotypical
un-PC
fashion.
way.
It was like the most stereotypical version of everything you could get. Like the African were straight up like jungle Congo
Bones in
African.
their noses.
Oh, yeah.
my god!
You've
All-
never seen that?
All the
gotta find
Chinese
that.
kids were wearing rice
They're like,
hats.
"Oh, yo, yo, yo,
rice
yo."
hats.
Yeah.
It's freaking great. It's so good to
See,
upset people.
I love the fact that people could laugh at that.
Right.
It is hard to now you have to like hide the fact that you laughed at it. No.
Right.
Like when people make fun of Italians or anything else, it's like, okay.
Well,
I
dude,
get
the other night we're talking like
Why
we're
is
doing
this
the
a
Rich
problem?
Redmond show, and we had an Italian guy on. They're both talking about, and Rich is talking about having Ginzo night, and he has this night once a month with a bunch of Italian guys, full-blooded Italians. And they have cigar, they have wine, they have food, and it's like a 6-hour ordeal. He kept on calling it Ginzo night. I'm like, dude, I think you need to be like an FBI to say that word. I'm not exactly sure, but you're not FBI. And he's like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, well,
It is all good.
yeah. Well, and
Who
then that's the
cares?
thing is that Italians are thick-skinned.
Well,
You know?
a lot of people are. I think the majority of people are, but there's a small group of people that get their panties in a wad for no reason.
And they
causes
get the
a
most
problem for
attention and
everybody.
they're freaking loudest.
You remember Corey Mooney and I, he and I would mess with each other nonstop. I would mess with him about all the black stuff, and he would mess with me about all the Italian or white stuff, and we would be laughing our asses off all day long. And people are like, and we're
JC
like,
too.
yeah,
JC was great because like
you don't. It's not. It's if you know it's out of
so. Yeah.
Respect.
It's why
We're
We're just people.
We're just freaking bagging on each other.
We are celebrating our differences. It's okay.
There was one time, I know you might have been in the room. It was Mike Carter was in the room, and maybe Larry the car dog. Maybe you were there in the BDC and back. And JC was a guy who was the BDC manager, and he was a bald black guy. Great guy. Love him.
He's a great guy.
Amazing bass
Funny
player.
dude. Yes.
Funny
Very,
guy.
very
Learned a
good
lot from him. I wish he would reach out because I'd love to talk to him and catch up, even have him on my podcast. But anyway, he was telling us stories back when he used to sell cars, and he did very well. And he sold, he was driving a Corvette and apparently got pulled over. And he was telling us the story that had the context or the pretext of racism around it. They pulled him over because he was a black man driving a convertible Corvette. So he's talking about this, and we're all just completely invested listening to him. And he pauses, and I literally go, and I said, "So they pulled you over because you were bald?" And he just looked at me like, "You son of a bitch." And the whole room just erupted, But I had to have that. I had to have the pause on the
Because you were bald.
But it's like you're not wrong. It's guys. I'm a balding middle-aged white dude. The middle-aged American male or the modern American white man has been emasculated to the point of just being so insignificant. I totally am part of that generation.
I think more than anything, people have lost the understanding that if you get offended, it's your fault.
Right.
If I get offended, it's my fault. It's not somebody else's. It's my fault for not being able to handle it.
Right. Dude, I saw something the other day with, it was like a town hall meeting, and Anderson Cooper was hosting it. A woman, very obviously a woman, gets up, and she's an attorney for some whatever.
What made it obvious?
She was a woman. She looked like a freaking woman. I'm sorry. So
I don't know. There's some others that look like women.
He said, and he assumed the same thing. And he said, we got so-and-so here, and she's a blah, 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 and she's this and her. Blah. Excuse me, I'm a they, them. And she interrupted and totally corrected him in front of the entire crowd. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "So sorry, dude. No. Shoot that ass freaking down. Sorry, lady. You're not a they, them. You're a her. Unless you have a freaking t-shirt on that tells me that your freaking pronouns are this, and you're still mentally freaking, sorry, never mind.
She has multiple personality disorders. Just they, them. Right. That's right.
My pronouns are thee, she, and it.
Carly, what are your thoughts?
You want to hear my thoughts?
Sure.
I think a lot of times your intention gets lost, and it's the impact that resonates. And so just being mindful and being courteous, and, it's not your intention to offend anybody, but sometimes it comes off that way, and you just have to, I don't know. It's touchy ground, and especially Gen Z, they're all super, everything has to be politically correct. And I think that's for good reason, but sometimes it gets too far and people run with it and just so it's interesting, the world we live in now.
Well, you've given like the context of the generation, but we asked what you thought.
What is the question?
It is interesting. It's I think it's like a pendulum, like you've talked about pendulum of societies. I think it goes too far one way, so everybody tries to overcorrect, and then it goes too far. The number one cause of accidents in young drivers is they go off the road
They
overcorrect.
And that does it. We're kind of there now.
That is why society, for the most parts, is an accident constantly.
Right.
It's just there's
everybody seems at each other's throats, and it's not me, it's you. Mm. You're to blame for all of my issues.
Validation is, I think, the biggest issue we have is everybody wants to be validated.
Yeah.
It used to be that you can validate yourself by your own worth and whether it's
called a meritocracy.
I'm created by God. I'm worthy, or I find things worthy of what I do in life, or I try to do things worthwhile in life. Boy, this has gotten serious quick, hasn't it?
It really did.
But so many people look for outside validation, and I think that's the biggest issue. make me feel worthwhile because I can't do it myself. That's a problem. We're all valid. We all have to understand why we're valid.
And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from the psychology degreed person at the table.
Gestaltist psychology was my absolute favorite, which was extraordinarily blunt and brutal.
It's
just,
freaking.
here's the deal, dummy. You're a dummy. Quit being a dummy.
Is that why you say that to me all the time?
Yes, exactly. It's interesting. I think people look for reasons to make themselves feel
but the
good
thing
by
is,
using other people rather than
right.
their own actions.
I can totally see that. What I have a problem with is if I don't buy into your delusion, I'm the one at fault.
Yep.
I'm the one that's a bigot. I'm the one that's a racist, insert whatever flavor of the week word.
Because you're not validating somebody else doing
Right.
it. You're not doing it right for them.
Exactly.
So let me ask you a question. If somebody doesn't get angry about it, because it sounds like this person kind of was, and I can see fault with that. Like, if I don't know, you can't really be angry at me for ignorance. Now, you can be angry at me for assholishness. So, like, if someone said I'm a they, them, would you then accept calling them they, them, or do you just use what you feel they represent?
I would say that your reality doesn't align with mine because you're fighting 49 years of someone living on a planet and in a reality where this is something so new and so asinine that
let me
sorry, I'm not going to adopt that.
Do you have any friends that you call them by a nickname instead of their real name?
But that might be because of a long time relationship. Or maybe that's how I was introduced to them.
Okay, so you're introduced to them. So you're immediately buying into their reality that that's their name even though it's not.
You're talking about nicknames and pronouns, which are apples and bowling balls.
It's how I refer to myself.
Okay.
So you don't have a problem referring to that person the way they want to be referred to.
My daughter has a friend who is a they, them, and her name is Venus. And all along I knew her name was as Venus, but apparently that's not her real name. That's not her given name.
Okay.
And we found that out awkwardly in front of her mother when she found out.
Oh.
And it was kind of like Courtney and I are sitting there going, okay. And then, but she's a they, them, which is a polarizing, semi-cultural political issue where a lot of people of my generation and older generations are like, no, we're not going to buy into this delusion because what does that mean?
For the last 10,000 years, civilization has not had a problem with it. Why all of a sudden in the last 10 years?
You're right. The natives have like 9 different genders for the past 10,000 years.
The what?
A very small percentage of human beings.
You're saying your culture is more important or more correct than their culture.
No, that's not right. I'm saying that I believe in my culture and what my culture does, and they believe in their culture, and I'm fine with that.
My culture is not being a dick. And if somebody wants to be called something, I'm going to call it because
your culture's being
Jim and I, we are from a culture that's very much.
It's not. Now, if you get mad at me, look, I get it. Because if you represent as a female and I refer to you as she and you get mad at me
right
before you've ever corrected me, that's a problem.
Right.
That is entitlement. That is not having understanding with the rest of it.
You're assuming my pronouns or my...
Yeah. Well, yes, I am, because you're assuming everything in life. If I have my right turn signal on, you're assuming I'm turning right.
Boy, there's a lot of people that do that wrong around here too. I keep saying
there is.
There's been, what is the up? Okay, so totally derailing us, and we got to end this episode in a minute. But what is the deal with all these people lately? I keep seeing people with their left turn signal on going right, and I'm like, what? It's like there's a whole batch of cars that have been made where the turn signals are screwed
reversed.
Up. Yeah, because I see them. They're driving. There's no turn signal. Left turn signal. I'm like, okay, and off they go to the right, and I'm like, okay.
Or they just don't use turn signals at all.
Those are called BMW drivers.
Guess where I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just Jim.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a Mercedes driver.
Ah.
Yeah. And Jeep.
Okay, real quick, we got to wrap this up because I realize we got a time crunch. Ratings. Jim.
I'm going to go with a solid 8. And still,
a lot of 8s
still love everybody here at the table.
I'm going 8, 1, 6, 7. Just to rub Jim raw.
Cosine 834. Carly.
I'm going to say 8.2.
You still haven't answered my question before.
Yeah, let's bring this up and go into detail more than we already have. I'm sure people want to listen to all this.
But this is where they go with these conversations, the tales portion of the show.
Yes.
Sometimes the tails are bobbed.
Yeah.
I'm cutting it short.
Badaksh.
I'm going to give this 7.8. It's good. I like it. It reminds me of what it used to be when I had it the first time. It's different than your standard, Miller Lights, Bud Lights, whatever. I love all the flavors in it. It's easy to fit within any setting. I think it's good.
I could see why it intrigued you to continue on the journey.
Yeah, I wanted to come back.
Whetted your appetite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm going to say I love all you guys, and for those who you try to tell me that I got a speaker address you a certain way, go yourself.
Look, I think there's a simple solution. Look, no, seriously. I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, just use their name. Just use their name when referring to them. It's that simple. That's simple.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to just swap out they, them. Like I can do it pretty naturally. They went to the gym. They got their hair cut. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's that hard. I mean, like you said, it's when you first meet somebody and they get mad that you didn't automatically know it, that's not acceptable. But if they tell you the right pronouns, then you try to work on it and you do it for them because you want to respect people. People deserve respect for how they identify because
False.
We don't know how they were.
Not everyone deserves respect.
Let her finish.
Sorry.
James doesn't even respect enough to let you finish.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
James.
I am sorry. I interrupted.
Yeah, I need a written apology.
Let me go on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok right now and type it all out.
Yeah, I want it on the Facebook post. All one. I want 5 misspellings on all one.
No
sentence.
punctuation
No grammar.
whatsoever.
One run-on long sentence.
I really do
Random
apologize
thoughts.
for what I did to her. I did not mean to do that at all, and I apologize for what I did in the way
I'm
I
a
said because I was
bigot. I'm a sexist. I'm a racist. What's the other words that they call people now? Whatever it is, I am that person. Fine.
Everybody just needs to drink more beer
Yes.
and relax.
Hey, I went rogue on this.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you'd be a dead guy because some people take it personally, apparently.
I
Anyway,
was waiting for a sound effect.
Right? I was waiting for the crickets.
too late. All right. So, till next time. All right. Yeah. If this last portion of this episode stressed you out, go get a beer. It did me. I'm going to get another beer. We're going to record another episode. All right. Till next time. Cheers.